everyone, I hope you're all doing really well today. So today I'm excited to bring you this high-end haul of various items. I didn't purchase them all at the same time or from the same place. I just kind of have been collecting them over the past couple of weeks. So the first item that I got came in this past week. I ordered it from Sephora. And it is the Lorac Pro To Go palette, the one that they have from Sephora. So there's also one at Ulta, which is like a little tiny, it looks like a miniature Lorac Pro palette. It's got 4 shadows, and then I think there's 3 brushes and a cute little case and a mascara that it comes with. And it's a reasonable price for all those items. I actually saw that in the store at Ulta and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. And I would have purchased it because I thought the case that it all came in was like really nice quality. The brushes actually felt really decent. For what you're paying, it was only like $30 something, I think. And then it had a full-size mascara, which was one that I'd never tried before. And then the cute little Lorac Pro case that came with it was adorable. The reason I didn't purchase it was because I felt like the eyeshadows that came in the little quad weren't like the most versatile eyeshadow. I'm kind of funny in the store. I will actually literally go over to like the Urban Decay station and I will put the primer potion on my hand, and then I'll borrow like a brush from a brush station and then I will go over to a palette and I will take the brush and do swatches on my hand, because I found that it's a lot more accurate than like if you dip your finger in the eyeshadow and then try to swatch it on your hand. It tends to mimic, like you can tell like better about fallout and pigmentation and stuff like that. So I did that with that palette and I wasn't very happy with it. I can't remember now what the specific issues were. I just remember I wasn't happy with the formula. I don't know if it was fallout or I thought they weren't blendable or what it was. But so I didn't purchase it because of that. But I did finally get this little Lorac Pro To Go palette from Sephora. In general, I think this is a really great palette. I believe it's $38, and I actually read a lot of reviews on Sephora's website and a lot of people were saying it was really big. I don't think that at all. I think it's really very small. I mean, this is my hand. It's like the size of my palm. It's just not skinny like the Lorac Pro palette was. It's like twice as thick. One thing that I think is so cool about this palette is it actually opens up. I've never seen a palette package this way. It opens up this way and then it opens up again this way. So you can either keep it like this and open up one side, which has eyeshadows, or you can turn it the other way and open up the side that has the face products, or you can keep them both open at the same time, or whatever you like. So I just think it's so cool. Like you can lay it flat if you needed to. It's just, I love the versatility of that, and the fact that it really is so small. It's about an inch thick, I would say. And so I think that's very, very nice. So in general, for palettes that are kind of supposed to be like your all-in-one to go, you know, take it on a trip palette, I'm usually dissatisfied for some reason. It's like nobody can get the combination right for me. It's like either I don't like the bronzer, or I wish that there was a different shade of blush, or I wish that they had different shades of eyeshadows. This is one of the palettes that I would say has come the closest for me on getting it all right. It's not completely perfect for me, but it's pretty close. First thing I wanted to show you guys are the eyeshadows. So if you open it up like this, the top are the eyeshadows. You've got a nice mirror here that you can see. One thing that I do like about it is that they have 2 different options for you of highlight shades. The top one is called Pearl, and it is sort of it's a shimmer, but I would say it's more on the really smooth sheen kind of side of shimmer rather than like a really bright metallic kind of shimmer. And then the one underneath it, I've heard people say it's matte. It's actually not matte. It has a slight sheen, so it's like a very blendable type matte, but when you put it on, you almost don't notice that it picks up the light a little bit. It basically more or less is matte. I love that these 2 are so large because those are the 2 shades that I usually run out the most of. You have a black, a matte black, which is one thing that so many palettes always forget, and you can do so much with a matte black. You know, you can deepen up any look to create a nighttime look with a matte black. So I love that they give you that. I love that they give you a color called Mink, which is a dark brown, and this one is a shimmer shade. It's got plenty of pigmentation. And then you have 2 medium colors. You have a shimmer one up here that is like a medium orangey copper or bronze kind of a color. And then you have a shade underneath it that is very similar in color concept, but this one down here is matte. So let me show you the swatches of those on my hand. First of all, the top shimmer shade. The highlight shade is right here. And it is not, like I said, it's not super like metallic or anything like that in terms of shimmer. And then underneath that is the other highlight shade called Shell, and I'm not even sure if my camera's gonna pick it up. It's pretty close to my skin tone. It's actually a little lighter, but because it's matte, sometimes the camera has a hard time picking that up because it soaks into the skin. And then up top here is the shade called Chai, and it's the metallic, I would say pretty warm tone brown. And then underneath that is a shade very similar in color, even though when I'm looking at my monitor right now, this looks darker. It's only because the light is reflecting off of this. They're about the same depth of color in my opinion, to be honest. And then over here you have a more cool, sort of like a gray tone brown, the deep brown, and it is not super shimmery. As you see, there's like a slight amount of glitter to it, and it's not matte, but it has one of those shimmery formulas that comes off, I don't know, it's almost like half sheen, half matte, half shimmer. Well, that would be a third, not half, sorry. Can't do my math. And then the deep matte black is just a plain matte black, and it is quite deep, as you can see. As far as the eyeshadows go, what I think I already mentioned what I like about it. What I wish was, you know, going on with it is like this deep brown right here is a shade that I would often use like in the crease, and I don't love the fact that it's shimmery because that won't create the most depth in the crease. I wish that like palettes like this would have like a deep matte brown to go in the crease and the outer corner of the lid. And then these medium shades, I really wish that these medium 2 shades were not as warm, because I think that really alienates a lot of people who are going towards more cool tone shades. I've actually seen a couple of reviews on YouTube where people said that these were not warm, and I don't know what they're talking about because they are like orange as can be in terms of like brown. I mean, they're very orange tones. So also the fact that this brown to me is cool, the dark one, I feel like they don't all work together. It's like you kind of have to use this black and this brown and the highlight shades, or these 2 medium ones and the black and the highlight shades. You can't really mix all of them. Or at least, I guess you can. When I've done it, I've used this palette like twice on my eye. It seemed sort of strange to me when I mixed them. I didn't care for it. Also, so like the last thing that I really use a lot on my eye to do eye looks is I always like to have a shade that is similar to this matte one right here, but lighter. Like this, I can't use all over my lid. It's hard. I mean, I could try to blend it out really good, but it's just not doing it for me. I wish it's so much easier to just have a lighter one, something that's just a little bit darker than my skin tone, not a whole lot darker than my skin tone, just to do all over the lid. So in this palette, really, there's not a color that I really like for all over my lid. I mean, unless I'm just doing a smoky eye where I don't care about building up a lot of color on my lid, or unless I'm going to use Pearl, the light shimmer shade, all over my lid, my only choices are shades that really are too dark that I just have to try to blend out to almost nothing, and that just becomes kind of a pain, especially like if you're taking it on travel and you're trying to do your makeup in a hurry some morning. It's a little bit more of a pain than if they just had included maybe made these shadows like a little bit smaller and put like 2 more in there. But, you know, you can't, it's hard to get a perfect palette. So there were a lot of things that I really liked about it. Also, I switched out the 2 brushes. It comes with 2 little brushes, one here and one on the other side. And it comes with the one on the other side on this side. But the one that I have in here right now is like a little liner brush, and I use this and it's really not that bad. I tried to use it to do like black as my liner, the black that's included in the palette, and it did just fine. I mean, it's not the nicest brush in the world, but for, you know, coming with the palette and being right there and everything, I was able to use it as a liner with that matte black just fine. And then moving on to the other side, the face side, I really do like these 3 shades that they've included in here. I have them swatched for you. The first one is like a pinky peach. It's called Coral, but it's like a pinky peach shade that has golden shimmer. And hopefully it will focus here for you sometime today. There we go. Hopefully the light will pick up the golden shimmer in it. It's very pretty. And then there's a pink shade that next to this in the palette looks more cool, but when I actually put it on my cheek, it really is more neutral. So a lot of people can wear it. And then the bronzer is a matte bronzer, thank goodness, because so many of them in palettes have shimmer and then you can't use it for a contour. And then I built up actually all three of these. I used like a small face brush and built it up, built it up, built it up. So like these are like the deepest tones that you can probably get out of these three colors. And so you can see it on my fair skin, how deep you can build it up. And so I've used the bronzer. I like the bronzer. It's not too orange. If it goes any more orange than that, then I feel like it's too orange, but I can use this one. And both of the blushes actually, so I can sheer them out and use them. They are fine for fair skin. You just have to kind of use a little bit of a light hand. It's not like a no-brainer blush that you can just put on and not worry about it. You just have to make sure that you don't over apply. But I think medium skin tones, tan can use it just fine. Deep, not so much probably. They probably won't show up very much on you, but I think most skin tones can use these products just fine. And I forgot to mention, I think that the pink blush was matte. So the other one had a little bit of a shimmer to it, but the pink one was matte. And then the gold shimmer that was in the coral one also isn't glitter. Like there's no glitter in these blushes at all. It's more like a duochrome kind of look. It's like gold. I mean, I don't know how to describe it, but it's not glitter. It's just kind of like a golden like sheen when the light hits it, kind of. And then on this side also, there is a brush here that is, I don't know, I mean, if you're a professional makeup artist, for example, you're going to simultaneously be able to use this and probably not want to at the same time. I mean, you can do stuff with this, like you can use it to like smudge out and stuff, but you know, if you have better brushes, you're not going to want to use it probably, and if you're traveling, you're probably, if you're a professional, going to want to include other brushes. As to other people, you may want to include a couple of other brushes too, because this one is also quite small. But anyway, so that's the Lorac Pro palette.